Hi guys, I am doing my update for the week. Sorry it is late. I just was busy last night. My daughter started T-ball again, and that has turned into practices are late on Friday nights. And I was just exhausted because this is spring break, and yeah. So anyways, updates for the week. Okay, I'm not going to talk very loud because my kids are actually taking a nap right now since we literally did not get home till 10 o'clock last night. Practice didn't get done till almost 8, and then we had to feed them. And we had to drop my niece back off at home. So it was an exhausting night, and yeah, they were up early today, so I'm like, no, you're taking a nap tonight. So anyways, updates for me, pretty much trying as hard as I can to cut calories. It's harder than people think it is, especially when you have a busy life. And kids that are busy with sports. Like, coming up, dance day has always been on Mondays, and it's going to be, my daughter has games on Mondays as well, so we're literally going to be rushing from pick up from school, go to dance, go to the game, then eat supper. And as much as I don't want it to be, it's going to have to be something quick and fast, because even meal prepping, we won't have the time. Because like my husband and I talked about it, I'm like, I can shove something in the crock pot before we go, but then by the time we get home, get everything settled, get everything served, our kids won't be going to bed till like 8 or 9 o'clock. And bedtime is typically 7. The games are at 6. We put her in a league that isn't in our town. So then we have to drive to the different games. We have to drive to even her practices and such. So I'm like, we're not looking to get home till like 8 or 9. Then when you look at, or not 8 or 9, looking to get home at like 7:38, then trying to get everything served and the kids fed and the kids in bed. Yeah, we're looking at 8 or 9, so more so closer to 9. And it's gonna have to be. And that was one thing that I was really frustrated when I saw the nutritionist. Like, all she kept saying was, oh, you need to cut out the fast food, you need to cut out the fast food. Like, yes, I know I need to cut out fast food. We were at one point pretty much eating it daily, if not multiple times a day. And we have severely cut back. I have cut back on snacking, but it's almost like, help me with options that would be a better choice eating at fast food. And all she could say is just eat a salad. And I'm thinking, but then you just told me I need to eat protein. So I honestly, with the nutritionist, I've not had positive experience with nutritionists. Like when I was pregnant with my son, all I craved was water. All I wanted was water to drink. All I craved was water to drink. And she kept pushing diet soda. I'm like, no, I don't want diet soda. Well, you need to drink something. And I'm like, I'm drinking something. I'm drinking like 3 liters of water a day. What more do you want? And then this one, like I said, and like she kept making the comment, oh, I have not eaten fast food in 6 months. Last time I ate fast food was 6 months ago, and that was because I was at the airport, and that's all I had. The airport only had, I only had time at the airport for a fast food option. And she goes, I made it work. And I'm thinking, okay, you just got done saying you haven't had fast food in 6 months. A lot of fast food places, like, do they have like certain staples that are constantly there? Yes, but there are also things that revolve. Like, there are things that are on like McDonald's menu now that weren't there 6 months ago, and there are things that were on there 6 months ago that aren't on there anymore. And then she started in, because I only drink water, she's like, well, if you go through the fast food restaurant, why are you ordering a value meal? And I'm like, well, because, and she's like, you don't drink the drink anyways. And I go, well, McDonald's offers a bottle of water. So I can get a bottle of water with my meal instead of a soda. Or sometimes what we do is my husband will just order the drink for himself, which I'm perfectly fine with. So anyways, I've been trying to, I have been watching what I be eating better. There are still times where it's like frustrating. And then like going to the grocery store, like today for lunch, I made my kids lunch, and instead of making myself what I made them, I just had a salad, and then I bought these Sun-Kissed pouches. I think that's what they're, I don't remember. They're like individual serving sizes, and they've got like 15 grams of protein in them, as well as I can't even think. They're like lower calories, like 100 calories or less. So I have been eating like putting a pouch of tuna in. I think I got some salmon ones too, which weren't that bad. I've been putting like a pouch of tuna in, and I'm making a salad, so I'm adding protein into the salad. And then like for salads, she's like, oh, you have to use low-fat, light vinaigrette dressing. And I'm like, that gives me heartburn. I do not like that. I will, like, French dressing is probably the most acidic I can get. And that's pretty much all I like. I'll eat ranch if I have to, but it's not particularly my favorite. So, I don't know, I was frustrated with the nutritionist, but I've been trying to do better. I'm trying to exercise more. My husband needs to find out if I can go to the gym without him to use his gym membership, because then I'm going to start doing that until we can get a treadmill. And so like that's something we're both looking into, because his biggest thing, well, he goes to the gym to lift weights and such, but I'm like, I don't need a gym membership to just, all I'm going to use is the treadmill. We can find a used treadmill for like $200, and I'll be perfectly happy with that. Well, he wants a more expensive one, because he wants like one of those Nordic Track climber ones where it's got like a screen in front of it, and like you can program it that you're hiking or whatever. And I'm like, I don't need that. All I want is a basic treadmill. In fact, I could have gotten someplace last night. I could have got a treadmill for free, which I was a little upset about, but it is what it is. So that's pretty much, and the other thing is, for updates on me, is the psych finally got back to me. Like, they called 2 weeks ago. I was busy when they called, so I returned their call and never heard anything back. Waited about a week, called again, still didn't hear anything back. Finally, I got a call back on Monday. They scheduled my first of 3 evaluations, and it's for next week. And I'm thinking, it took longer to get in, or to get you to call me back to schedule the appointment, than to get the actual appointment. Usually they call you back instantly. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, we don't have anything available for 2 months. So I have to do that next week, which I'm excited and nervous for that one, because the nutritionist signed off, which basically the nutritionist, you just go in and talk about how you eat, blah, blah, blah. She's already signed off on everything. The psych is going to be the harder one to sign off, because they have to make sure you're mentally prepared for this lifestyle. Because first of all, this is a huge lifestyle change. Having weight loss surgery is a tool. It's not a cure-all, end-all. It's not a magic pill you still need to work for. In fact, there's a channel on here, I cannot think of his name, or his full channel. I just know him as Boogie, and there's some numbers after it, I can't remember. He's typically a gamer channel. He also has some videos that he calls Francis videos, and while I'm not into the gaming aspect, some of the Francis videos can be funny, and it's how he lets off his steam. Well, he recently had weight loss surgery, and so he's kind of been doing stuff with his weight loss journey as well. And some people were telling him, like, oh, he took the easy way out. And he's like, in fact, no, this isn't the easy way out. Because if it was just as easy as going on a diet, you don't think that we haven't tried that? I mean, having this weight loss surgery can be like, if I eat something that doesn't agree or that I shouldn't be eating, there's what's called dumping syndrome. I don't think I really need to go into any more on what that is, because to me, saying dumping syndrome kind of should be self-explanatory. I've heard of people that have had bad dumping syndrome after eating just like a piece of cake. If something had too many carbs or too much sugar in it, that's what happens. The also thing is, if you eat something that your body isn't going to like, you may just vomit it all back up. So it's a complete lifestyle change that you have to mentally prepare for. It's not just, I'm going on a diet, I'm going to fall off the bandwagon today, and I'm going to go to Taco Bell and stuff myself with like 3 value meals. It's not like that. As well as you have to mentally prepare yourself, especially like early on with the weight loss surgery. First of all, most people drop the weight pretty quickly. Pre-surgery, once you go on a specific diet, depending upon your doctor. Post-surgery is where you really start losing the weight. Well, post-surgery, like, basically, there's lots of people, because I've joined support groups that talk about that they had to set timers for every 15 minutes and to make sure that they were getting enough water and to stay hydrated, because your stomach goes from like the size of your fist, sometimes double the size of your fist, to like the size, or to like a couple ounces. So you can only take like small, slow sips of water, especially at the beginning, just to get in enough water for the day. And then like you have to add in like your protein shakes, and I believe you're supposed to drink 1 protein shake a day, especially at the beginning, to make sure you're getting it all in. So it's emotionally, I mean, I'm ready for it. I want it, I need it. So those are the updates on me for this week. I know last week there really wasn't much to update. Updates for my dad for the week are that on this past Monday, he saw his chemo doctor, which they discussed different options. They know he's going to do the transfusions, but right now the transfusions are still too dangerous for him, as they can cause bleeding, and the doctor wants his brain to heal more, so he doesn't want to cause a bleed around the area where surgery was, since it's only been a little over a month. But he doesn't want to wait too long to give the tumor time to grow back, since it grew back so quickly, so fast last time. And the surgeon said basically the tumor that he took out was the same size as the tumor he took out 8 months ago, or 8 months prior. So anyways, the chemo doctor is going to be more progressive with this. So instead of sitting and waiting for his brain to heal more for the transfusions, he is going to be on 1 chemo pill, I believe, daily throughout everything. Then there's going to be another chemo pill he has to take, I believe, every other day until he's ready to start doing the transfusions. And then he does then the second chemo pill will back off to every 3 days, and then he'll do transfusions, I think my mom said, like every 4 days, but still taking the other one. So he'll be taking 3 different types of chemo once the transfusions start. Monday they go in to get his schedule. When we were up there, I mean, my mom was kind of complaining. I noticed a few personality changes, but not major. They were kind of minor personality changes, although my mom was going on and on about that there's a couple major personality changes she noticed. And I don't know, my parents have been married for over 35 years, almost 40 years. And I mean, there's some things within their marriage that as me looking in, it's frustrating because as much as I love my mom, even as a child, has been very cheap is the nicest word I can put it. She'll act like they can't afford this, they can't afford that, they can't afford this, they can't afford that when they can. And then you've got my dad on the other side who's a spender. So they've been kind of clashing lately with some of the finances in that situation, and I get stuck in the middle because my dad's like, I'm getting frustrated, I'm getting sick of her arguing anytime I want to go buy something. And some of it, yes, I can see him. It's like he wants to buy it and he wants it now, where she's like, well, let's just wait a little bit. And then it just, yeah. So she thinks that he's been saying she's been becoming more argumentative. He's been complaining about her, or she's been complaining that he's saying she's becoming more argumentative when she doesn't think in her mind she is. And in some things, it's like, Mom, you need to step back and think about this, because she, once again, still is a little bit in denial about everything. And I'm like, Mom, some of this is he's trying to secure to make sure you're taken care of once he's gone. No. I'm like, yes. They had a car that they had been leasing that my dad hated it. I mean, I hated that car too. It was tiny, it was too small. And every time he got in or out of that car, he hit his head on the frame of the car. I hit my head, and I'm only 5 foot tall. And while my dad is like 5'9", 5'10", somewhere around there, he's a little under average size, but he was still hitting his head getting in and out of this car, and he wanted a different car. She wanted to hold on to this car, and I'm like, Mom. She's like, well, the cars he's looking at, they're all-wheel drive, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, Mom, he's looking out for you. You don't drive the truck. If something happens to him in the winter, he wants to make sure you're taken care of. And, I mean, they ended up buying the car he wanted, but she was very angry about it. And it's like, she's just seeing it as him spending money, and he's seeing it as taking care of her, and they're just clashing with that. And that's where I'm like, in some things, she just needs to back off. She just really needs to back off. Like, incredibly needs to back off. So, and, I mean, I don't know. She, like I said, she's still in denial. She says she's not, but she's in denial about a lot of this. And even at that, she's still maintaining that if something happens to my father, she's like, there's certain things I want to sell, but then I still want to live here. I'm like, okay, that's fine. You can still live up in Fargo. It's fine. But you can't expect us to constantly come up there. You can't expect me, when you're having a hard time, to drop what I'm doing and go up there to be with you. You can't expect. I'm like, after Dad passes, I've got family down here that can handle, like my husband would have to obviously come back to go to work. I've got my kids that would need to come back because, I mean, they're in school pretty much, well, they get done the last day, typically around the end of May, and they start up school like mid-August. So they basically get 2.5 months. Sounds like, oh, some places get 3 months, but at Christmas, my kids get 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. A lot of schools basically get a week. So anyways, where it's frustrating is, I'm like, Mom, my kids can't stay up here with me, especially if they're in school. I may be able to stay up here a week or 2 weeks after they go home, but I can't stay here a month, 2 months at a time while you try to figure out what you're going to do. And then she keeps going on about, oh, well, my friends. And I'm thinking, and I even told her, I'm like, Mom, yes, you have friends. Yes, you have good friends that, with everything going on with Dad, they're sticking by you. But to tell you the truth, I mean, I've seen it time and time again. A spouse passes away, friends are there. They're there, and then as time goes on, when you still need them, they start dwindling away. And she's like, oh, they wouldn't do that. And I go, even like not having like my best friend from childhood, her and I have drifted apart majorly, like majorly. And it's frustrating, yes, but it happens. And it's not like there was a death that I counted on, or well, take that back. Like when a trauma comes, like when my husband was in Iraq, I spent a lot of time with her and her family. When my husband got back from Iraq, like we spent quite a bit of time with them. Then when we had our son, it was just like we just started spending less and less time with them. And we just kind of drifted apart. But I mean, while they were there for me when I really needed them when he was gone, and the stuff I went through when he was gone, it's still, as time goes on, it got less and less, especially once he got back. Well, in this case, it's not like my dad will get back. It's not like they have, oh, this is the day he's going to come home. He'll be gone indefinitely. So, and then she's like, oh, but the church. And it's, once again, people at the church, like, at the beginning, everybody will bring food, everybody will coming over to see you, spending time with you. But as time goes on, they have to live their lives. And I don't think she's mentally prepared for that. That they're going to have to live their lives. They're not going to sit around waiting for her. So anyways, this video has gotten pretty much rambling about that. So those are the 2 updates for the week, not big major ones. And like I said, I see psych this week, and my dad gets his chemo schedule. So I am getting so frustrated with my hair, and I know it's going to start, like when you go through, that's the other thing, like when you go through weight loss surgery, you lose your hair. Everybody has it. It's because your body is getting resituated to different vitamins and such. But yeah, like I have a ponytail up, and I've got all this hair that doesn't reach it well, and my hair has grown since I cut it, and my hair grows fast. But I am probably going to have my mother-in-law cut it again soon, because she cut it just before Thanksgiving, like majorly cut it off, and I need to get it cut again. So I hope everybody has a great weekend, and I hope I have other updates for you next week. Bye.